that king looks for a queen, right? Probably. And so you have to be a mirror of
that king looks for love.
Well, everyone looks for love.
Somebody's telling us that they love us, and we mirror it back and, oh, I love you too. Right? This wasn't the case. Go to Himalayas with me and do yoga and meditate there together, and maybe do something else as well, in nature.
Sounds nice. She wants to attract like a billionaire with perfect body, and like he must be this and that.
And a lot of women are trying to be beautiful because they don't feel beautiful. A lot of women are looking for love because they don't feel love. And if they don't feel love, they don't have love within to share. Why would a man stick around a woman like that?
That it goes somewhere more serious, they become frightened of it and want to run away, to take it slower, even though they like the woman.
I feel like it's really hard to find quality people on a dating app. The first question that I would ask yourself would be,
hello everyone, this is me, Lily Boiko.
And Mira Uniat.
And our Eternally Fantastic podcast. And just to remind you that we have our pages on all social platforms. So please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Telegram. Yes, and we will be glad to talk to you there. And today we have the most popular or the topic which is in demand as I feel it, and we will be talking about dating.
Such a fun topic.
Yeah, a lot of things to talk here. And what I'd like to start with is how do you think, why is it hard for people to find a perfect match on dating apps? Because here is where, as I think, most people go when they are single. It's the easiest way to meet people, though it's quite hard to meet really quality people. Sometimes it's hard. So do you, and you can also talk about your experience. I know that you were there and I was there. And how do you, what do you look in the profile to understand if this person is meets your criteria, for example, and also, what questions would you ask on a first date to know a person better and like to uncover if that's the right person for you? Did you use this 10 questions for a date?
Yeah, I've never practiced the 10 questions for a date. So I will be talking about my own experience here. Okay. I am not on any dating app, so nobody can find me on Bumble, Tinder, Plenty of Fish, or Plenty of Trash, as they call it. I think these are amazing tools that you could use in your dating journey for sure. But at the end of the day, it will all come down to how much are you aware of yourself? Like, I am that weird person, maybe even boring person for some people, that I will always turn you inwards. If you feel like dating is hard for you, if you feel like it's really hard to find quality people on a dating app, the first question that I would ask yourself would be, are you that perfect person that you're looking for? Would you date yourself? Have you dived so deep within yourself to dismantle the mental blocks that are right now on the way for you to attract that right person? Because there is no such thing as the right person. The question is, are you the right person? So you list all the things that you're looking for in that being and start embodying that person. Like, become it. And then by the law of resonance, it's science. It's the law of physics. If you embody those qualities truly and authentically, you will attract that right person when you become the right person. And I also think that dating apps are just one of the avenues of attracting that being, right? Because if you feel like, oh, I can't find the right Mr. Right at this moment, then it's just a journey for you to become Mrs. Right, okay? And maybe the pain of not finding the right person, the pain. I actually think that the most profound realizations are happening when we dive within and reconcile our pain that's on the way to attracting that right person. When I look back at my dating journey, and 3 years ago when I met that man that I mentioned in the previous podcast, the love that really helped me dive within myself so deep and transform myself into an eternally fantastic being that I am right now, I met him on Bumble. And so dating apps work for sure. Yeah. But I think at that time I was very clear with my requirements. And I was almost looking for a mirror of who I was at that time. For example, if I was interested in business and making money, and I was very ambitious and driven, and I liked that part of me. So of course I wanted that to be a quality of a partner that I would want to be with, because then we would have common topics to discuss. So that's how the mirroring back will be happening in a mental world, right? In the world of perception. Because we are looking for a mirror to reflect back to us all parts of who we are. And if that person is not reflecting really who we are, then we won't resonate with them, we won't enjoy spending time with them. So when I met that man, like on a physical level, he was taking care of himself, healthy lifestyle, healthy diet, working out, even though he is 22 years older than me. I mean, we are not together right now. He is with another woman. But when I look back and I remember that, feelings that I got to experience, because he was a mirror of who I was, he not only brought up the physical self mirroring back, mental self, like the ambitions and drive in the business material world, and then plans for the future, but also on an emotional level and states of being, he also mirrored back. For example, if I am in a defensive mode, he would mirror back that to me. Mm-hmm. If I am sad, he would be that sadness as well. He would be mirroring back the emotional world. And then I started paying attention that, that personality that I had at that time, which I actually dismantled. Right now I'm a different person. I choose to be a different person. But that journey helped me to dismantle my old personality and dive deeper into states of being and seeing the energies that we embody at this present moment. So that relationship was a gift for me in that way, because I dived deeper than my analytical mind, because the connection was happening beyond thinking. It was on a level of feeling and state of being. And then I questioned my mind when my mind tried to stop me from pursuing this connection and was explaining the reason as he is 22 years older than you, and what if he doesn't want to have family and it's not going to work out. Then I questioned my mind and I asked, what is the most important thing for me right now? It's his presence as a being. Like, I would love at this moment to just be with him. I don't care what's going to happen in 10, 15 years. It's just a narrative in my analytical mind. But at this particular moment, I want to express what I feel. And at that moment, I had a feeling of sharing the moments together with him. And what I did, I packed my little backpack at 9 p.m. on a full moon night in August. I drove from Edmonton to Vancouver to tell him that I love him. Because for me, the feeling and the state of being of love, right, was more real than the analytical explanation why this connection won't work out. Okay? So I think Bumble is great that way, because we are attracting the mirror of who we are at this moment. So if you can't find Mr. Right, most likely you're not Mrs. Right yet.
I'd like to comment on that some people are, for example, a woman in the beginning of her career without any big accomplishments, or just a housewife, but she wants to attract and like having not perfect body, and she wants to attract like a billionaire with perfect body, and like he must be this and that. And when you look at the woman, and she, like that king looks for a queen, right? Probably. And so you have to be a mirror of
That king looks for love.
Well, everyone looks for love, but
and if you embody love, so see, like the mirroring is happening on all layers, right? And sometimes this, when you embody love always, it just depends what that king and which level he is, right? If he transcended his analytical mind and he is just, has dived so deep within himself that soul is more important for him than the look and the success in material world. So you never know on which journey the king is, right? But sometimes it just happens that I've seen a lot of couples where, if you look at them, they're so different in a fit. Like, she might not be in her best shape, he is very fit, but who knows what's really happening, the dynamics, right? But there are couples that might not be completely mirroring on all layers, right? But I think the fundamental layer where the matching has to happen, the mirroring back has to happen, would be the frequency, the states of being that people are mirroring back to each other. Because, for example, if a woman is constantly in defensive mode, then it means she's in a frequency of fear. She's always protecting her mental boundaries in conversations with the man, which means she always wants to be right, not necessarily happy, because being right does not mean being happy, So wise woman would basically operate in the world of frequency, and she would always bring her loved one into a state of being that will become a drug for him to come back. And he has to be capable to read that frequency as well and receive it, right? Because sometimes men are also very protective and they're not able to even receive the energy that you embody. And I'm talking that from my own experience, because I think why I'm not together with that man is that he wasn't able to receive what I was embodying, like that unconditional love. When I drove to Vancouver to tell him that I love him, for him it was threat. Why is she so nice? Maybe she needs something from me, So he read it as fear, and it's his fear. But because I was not doing it for him, I was learning to be authentic with my feelings. I didn't really care what he would respond and if he would ever tell me that he loves me or not. My job was to be honest with myself and be authentic with myself and learn to express authentically my state of being. So, but if I was doing it for him and tried to be nice, again, trying to be nice does not mean being nice. You're just trying to be something that you are not, okay? So if I was trying to do it for him, then it would hurt me, because he wouldn't, basically my state of fear of him not telling me, because I'm trying to get something from him, right? Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get something from him, which already means that I have a fear of not getting it. Mm-hmm. Okay? The fear of not getting it, basically, and on an energy level, would trigger a fear frequency in him. And he would be defensive and said, oh, why are you doing this, right? It never happened in my case, because the way I expressed it, I said, I don't expect anything from you. I'm doing it for myself. I'm expressing what I feel. And I only need 5 minutes of your time. I can leave anytime you want me to, because we didn't plan this. So, of course, this is shocking and this is something new, right? Because usually when somebody's telling us that they love us, then we mirror it back and, oh, I love you too, right? This wasn't the case. So I think relationships are happening on frequency level, and Bumble and Tinder and all these dating apps are just avenues for us to attract somebody who would mirror back the parts of us that we embody, like the states of beings that we embody. Like, for example, you brought up a fact of a woman who might not be successful in business world. She might not be successful in the business world. She might not be in her best shape, and yet she's looking for a man who is successful and who has six pack. So it can still happen. But I think it also depends on what evolutionary stage both of them are, on which, what are their priority, whether it's more state of being and spiritual world for both of them, and then the physical and material is not a priority anymore for them. But if she's looking for that, for her is a priority. So it's very rare that spiritually deep and evolved woman would just be looking for those things, right? And the fact that she is looking for that is coming from actually feeling of lack and desire to extract that what you don't have, you don't feel from someone. So it's a very not long-lasting strategy in dating. The man will feel it, and once that resource of giving will be depleted, the relationship will be going through crisis. So I think the frequency of lack that the woman would be radiating will cause the man to be in fear that he might be used, that somebody is taking advantage of him, and there is no really balance of exchange of energy happening. The woman is constantly looking to be protected by him, to be provided by him. And at the end of the day, if a woman is not capable for unconditional love, even if he loses everything he has, okay, if she's just there for those two things, material security and look wise, right, there may be sexual attraction, it's just not a long lasting strategy, right? So that's why I think dating is encouraging and inspiring all of us to look deeper than body and mind.
Mm-hmm. And how do you think, why a lot of men are afraid to go from like dating stage to relationship stage, like when they feel that it goes somewhere more serious, they become frightened of it and want to run away, to take it slower, even though they like the woman. Are they avoiding like love, or why is it so? And with the women it can happen as well. Is it a woman that is too pushy, or is it a man that is afraid to open up, though he thinks and he states that he wants a long-term relationship, but when it comes to making decisions, he is just scared?
Well, I think maybe you're just sharing your own experience.
Maybe.
Because it's very unique. Every journey is very unique for every human being, and we are attracting certain people to mirror back maybe our fear of committed relationship or our fear of having anything serious, right? Our mind can trick us into believing, oh, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. And then maybe it convinces you that you are ready when you don't have it. And then, for example, if you start having it, then like you become scared. Now the universe gave you something
now it's
you were
real.
looking for.
And now
You're afraid to commit or like have a serious relationship. So I think at the end of the day, it all comes down to your own inner world. And I think that it happens in both men and women. And it all comes down to the past and how much unprocessed pain is there in a man or a woman, and how many defense mechanisms have they built around that pain of a breakup, the past breakup or divorce, what were the consequences of previous uncoupling, whether it was financial. For a lot of men, when they divorce, they can lose money or whatever. So it creates a lot of defense around that pain, right? Because for them, they see relationship as a potential threat to lose something, right? And if they put a lot of value into material things, the more value we put into something, the more fear we have of losing it. So, and if you have a lot of fear of losing something material, of course you're going to think twice if you want to get married again, so that you expose yourself to potential risks of losing it. So it's a very interesting question, because it's very individual and unique for every human being, the experiences we went through and defense mechanisms we develop. And I think only authenticity and really purifying your own intention. Why are you in that relationship? Really? Are you there to share something or extract? And only we can know that about ourselves. That's why for me, if I'm ever in a relationship, I will only be there to share something. And I wouldn't have any expectations from that man. Of course, he would be able to receive, he has to learn to receive and understand the love that I embody. Otherwise, he wouldn't be attracted to me, right? And to understand it and be able to receive the love that I'm offer, it requires certain depth in a human being, right? And that is a lot of inner work, right? But I definitely won't be there to extract, because I already have everything I would ever ask for. I was able to find everything within myself. That's why a relationship for me would be just a way to multiply what I already have. Mm-hmm. I am already happy. And in a relationship, I would be even more happier. And if it doesn't happen, I'm happy anyways. Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of people just take it too serious. They see relationship as something, that, like getting married, it's a very serious step. And on some level, maybe on an analytical level, it's a very serious step, because human mind will see everything as a very big deal. It's a huge deal. I mean, human mind is not paying attention that the planet is spinning with tremendous speed around the sun and around itself. And yet we are sitting, and this is the illusion of a flat, surface that we are sitting on and filming this podcast. Human mind is not focusing on a bigger picture. It just focused on a relationship or an argument that people, for example, you had yesterday, or somebody, or it's just an example, right? So human mind is all about focusing on something and making it bigger. Mm-hmm. That's why people become too scared of a relationship. They're not open to play with life. And playfulness is not there because there is a lot of fear. Fear frequency is what keeping people away from loving and long-lasting relationships.
Fear of losing what they have? Like fear of losing a connection, of not being attracted, of not being loved?
Oh, it's very individual for every human being to find out what their fears are, right? For a lot of men, because by nature their system is designed as a provider, like as a hunter, right? So a lot of them, they spend a lot of time on becoming good hunters in life, right? They invest a lot of time into making money. So that's why for them, material aspect is really important. And the more importance we see in something, the more fear we have of losing it. Because for them, they understand that it's actually their winning card when they are going on a date with a woman and they are driving a nice car or they are successful. This is something that they are proud of, because it's almost like you're trying to sell who you are to this woman, and majority of women are looking for that. They know that, right? I don't fall into that criteria. That's why probably a lot of men are intimidated by me. Because I have a very unique course in life where I'm heading. I'm very clear with my life vision, and I think that scares hell out of a lot of men, right? Because but this vision is non-material and it's non-physical. It's more like a spiritual vision. It's like, I know where I'm heading in terms of feelings of life. I would invite him to join on the journey. But it might be scary for him, because the journey I'm on is a journey of learning to detach. Ability to detach from everything that you have, including relationships, if you have to do that. And ability to detach means there is no fear. It doesn't mean I don't love that person. But, if we agree to be in a relationship and we discuss the rules of the game, that this is what will keep us together, okay? I will commit to follow those rules, right? But if those rules are not followed by him, there is nothing wrong with that. I'll just be gone with love. Like, I will never tell him how to live his life, and I will respect his choice of not following the rule. But a strong woman and a wise woman will basically remove herself from the environment that's not resonating with her path, spiritual path, right? And if there is no drama, there shouldn't be any drama and intention to change him and fix him, because there is nothing wrong with him, okay? But ability to remove yourself with something that's not resonating, that's true power. It means detachment. A lot of women staying in a relationship because of their attachment to the life they don't even like, because they're afraid of the unknown, okay? So I think that's what scares a lot of men. I'm sharing just my experience, and I would invite them to join my team and say, hey, I found something that I would love to share. It's an unlimited source of love. Let's go to Himalayas with me and do yoga and meditate there together, and maybe do something else as well, in nature.
Sounds nice.
But only a spiritually evolved man could actually understand what that means, right? The man who is very preoccupied with success in material world and very focused on physical and mental, that would be scary for him, because that would mean his readiness to detach from who he is right now and evolve to an expanded version of him. And all women actually have that memory and strength of guiding a man towards love. We come here as love, and existentially women, even the body itself is designed to give life force, to bring a new life here, So in a spiritual world, we're almost designed as a reminder to men where we're all heading. We have to go back to love. Like, we have to go back to beauty. We have to go back to ability to see love in everything, right? But a lot of women even these days forgot why by nature we were created as a beautiful part of humanity, to manifest beauty and love, right? And a lot of women are trying to be beautiful because they don't feel beautiful. A lot of women are looking for love because they don't feel love. And if they don't feel love, they don't have love within to share. Why would a man stick around a woman like that?
Right. You mentioned in the beginning that that when a man or a woman isn't ready to receive love, that means they had some past trauma from their previous relationship, unsolved one. So is there like a certain time that you would recommend to wait after a separation or a divorce before registering on those apps? Or it's not about the time, it's more about your inner, your self-reflection on those things? What is the perfect path that you would take after a long-term relationship?
Yeah, it's a wonderful question, because there is no recipe or there is no clear instruction. How long? What are the steps? All I could recommend is, if your relationship didn't work out, that means that the relationship that you have with yourself is not effective. So you really need to fix the relationship you have with yourself, which means the relationship you have with your mind, the relationship you have with your thoughts. Are you enjoying your thoughts? Are you enjoying your state of being? Because if you are not enjoying your thoughts and you are not enjoying your state of being, then it means that you will go on Bumble and Tinder to find for someone who will be a distraction of the cause of your unpleasantness, which will be just covered for a certain period of time. Maybe it will be covered by, sexual attraction and hormones in your body. By nature, it's in our DNA. The nature has created us in a way where, the first time when you meet someone, there is this sexual attraction, right? And then if there is intimacy happening there, the body produces hormones, that are bonding hormones, right? Because the nature wants reproduction to happen. So some people can be blinded by it and like, oh my God, he's the love of your life. The illusion of the love of your life would be coming from the hormones in your body, the hormones of enjoyment and bonding hormones that are designed by nature for human beings to date and reproduce, right? And that's why sex is orgasm and all these feelings are so pleasant, so that it creates attachment in our human mind to repeat this, right? But if you start doing sex for pleasure, then it becomes just like another habit for you, right? A drug, yeah. And a lot of people get caught in this cycle because every 3 weeks they fall in love and they think it's the love of their life. So they just doing this pattern because the body fools them in this illusion that this is love and I've never experienced it before. But if they were not happy before this connection, before this relationship, most likely it's like that state of being will come back at some point once the body is transcended and sex is not that often, and it's no longer the focus of the mind, right, to receive pleasure. And once your mind collects enough data about the new being, it will bring you back to where you started. And it will create a picture of this human being, a perception of this being based on your dominating states of being. If you were a miserable human being, it will default you to that same state. And then once you start seeing that patterns that you are repeating, then you're like, okay, like I figure I've dated so many people, it's clearly me. Like I need to really work on this. And that's a power moment. That's when people actually start diving within and dismantling existing personality to get rid of existing perception, replace it with a new one so that they see a deeper, deeper meaning in connection and bonding beyond physical material, so that it lasts longer, maybe a lifetime, if people are really pursuing that and they're committed to finding that quality relationship.
Yeah, thank you. I feel like there is 1,000 questions to talk on this topic, and we would continue soon. So please subscribe here and on other platforms, and leave your comments, questions, topics below which you want us to discuss, and we would be happy to do that. And see you next week.
Thank you, everyone. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.